Hey, ladies. Good evening to everybody. So, I have to admit, I'm a bit nervous tonight about this topic. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. But when I started, this channel, I really wanted to talk about certain things that I'm seeing online, seeing in the community, and you know, I'm just going to put it out here tonight with regards to what I saw this video. So I put cerebral, tagged her in here because this is where I originally saw this video. And I really wanted to talk about the lack of building. Black men aren't building. That's what's being said. And y'all know I don't black male bash on my channel. I'm here to say, okay, now what? What are we going to do as women if the men aren't building? Y'all know that I am solutions oriented. You know that I kind of focus on what we can do as women. Tonight's going to be it's going to be a bitter pill to swallow for us, because it's not all the men's fault. We have to be very honest. It is not all of the men's fault. Some of it is on us. Now I'm saying they're 75% responsible. We're 25% responsible, but we have to be real about this. And I do also want to talk about some places that are building up. And I might open up the phone lines for everybody tonight if I could figure out how to invite people in. So yeah, so let's just kind of jump right in. Everybody, don't forget to like the video as well. Hello, Kat. Hey, Mokomami, saying, oh, yes, I love solution-oriented panels. Well, look, we're going to put some solutions in here today. We're going to have a good conversation. It is going to be from a position of power that I think we need to be in because we are Black women making money. Again, everybody, don't forget to thumbs up the video, like the video. So what I wanted to do with tonight is, and with the whole purpose of this channel was to talk about the things that are happening with Black women and the community with regards to an economic perspective. And I want to start off talking about this woman's video. I'm going to kind of start it and stop it. We're going to have some conversations with regards to this. We're going to talk about why the community is in building, because I think that it's very important here. And it's not just blame Black men. It's not just. So look, let's jump right in. Let's get started with the video here.
Y'all wanted to know what I meant by resources and community? For those of y'all who in my comments section glitching, here it is. When I asked the Black man what resources he's built for his community for the last 40 years, this is what I mean. Asian law office, right next to it, Asian restaurant. Yes, this might be a Truist bank, but all of the bank manager and the
Oops, everybody. Are y'all still able to hear? It looks like it went out. Let me try to get it back. Sorry, everybody. Let's see if we can get her back in. There's a really bad storm where I am because the hurricane has decided to trickle itself up here. So let's see if we're able to get this started again. Let's see here.
Y'all wanted to know what I meant by resources and community? For those of y'all who in my comment section glitching, here it is. When I asked the black man what resources he's built for his community for the last 40 years, this is what I mean. Asian law office, right next to it, Asian restaurant. Yes, this might be a truest bank, but all of the bank manager and the bankers in here, the people who are actually working with the people in the community are Asian. I can turn around. Right over here is another Asian restaurant. Another Asian restaurant. Community for their people. Resources for their people. Right there. Asian restaurant. Right next to the Asian restaurant is an Asian grocery store where they've built community resources for their people. Oriental market with foods for their people.
Okay, before we go into the market, look, she kept saying community, she kept saying resources, right? Hey, Cinnamon Sugar, thank you so much. Hi, Ariana. Hi, Gigi. New here. That TikTok today was absolutely right. We all see it. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about what we as women are going to do here. Because according to everybody online, we've been begging for 100 years, 200 years for this. So what are we going to do? Before she goes into the market, let's talk about this. So let's talk about what it took for these communities to build. And it wasn't just men in the community building, it was culture. It was culture. They have a culture of building. They have a culture of coming from their lands, coming here to the United States and saying, well, this is, I could do it. I could make it here. They have a culture of, at least the Asian community, most of the Asian community has a culture of compliance. They have a culture, if the family says, hey, we need you to be an accountant, that person goes to become an accountant. Some of this is cultural, right? The majority of them that come, either they are not poor or they're able to connect with other family members, do multi-generational living, things like that. So we are looking at this, in my opinion, we're looking at this without really looking at all of it in totality. So I think that, we as women, I'm going to kind of cut to the chase here, because, starting to have you think about certain things. Some of it is on us. Yes, some of it is on the men. Absolutely. Crime is rampant. Nobody's building a market in our community if crime is all over the place. And let's be real, ladies. Some of us, it's our sons, it's our nephews. It's, oh, I don't want anybody to touch my son. I don't want anybody to touch my nephew, my cousin. Grocery stores run on a very, very small margin. And we have to be honest. If there's a whole lot of theft, the people have tried to start grocery stores in the community before. And everybody that I talk to has said that theft, the employee theft, and the theft from people in the community is so bad that they end up losing money. You cannot build in this type of culture and infrastructure. You cannot build in most Black neighborhoods because most Black neighborhoods have people who are in poverty. Now I'm going to show you some Black neighborhoods that aren't in poverty and they have a whole different infrastructure to them. But let's be real. Let's be real. How many of us have lived in certain neighborhoods and we see another Black person moving in and we get excited for a second, then we're like, ooh, who's her boyfriend? Who is she going to bring into this community? Let's be honest, ladies. Let's be honest. How many of us, if we had a community like they did in the 30s, 40s, 50s, would let people in the community discipline our children? I don't know if they do that in the Asian community, but I know that if we're talking about, you know, setting up community and you have an 8-year-old stealing in the grocery store or stealing in some other retail establishment, can the community correct that child? We have to be honest, ladies. That's why I'm saying it's not all on the men. People have tried to build things in the community. No, it's not LeBron and them, but people who make $250,000 a year, $500,000 a year. Let's be honest. They've built things in the community and the community has destroyed it. That's part of the reason why there's nothing in the community. I might lose some subscribers tonight, but you know what? It's got to be said, and I'm just going to have to say a part of it. Cinnamon Sugar saying it's sad because Black American women were the most married at one time in America. I was shocked when I learned of the Wives Club. Yeah. Now, part of it is, how happy were those marriages? I remember my great grandmother being divorced and she never really talked about her husband, but, apparently he was a mess. Marie is looking. Marie is saying this is the truth. Like, we have to be honest, ladies. Another thing, let's say we were to pull our resources together. Do we have the politics in place? Do we have political action committees? Do we know what we want? Do we have an agenda? Because we could see the Asian hate crime bill that came because what? Not because they have a lot of numbers, but because they have the economics. We aren't making enough money in the community. We haven't bought off the politicians. We haven't done the things that are necessary in order to have these types of physical communities. And I know it's not a popular discussion, but it is the truth. We also don't have trust in each other. We don't trust each other. I'll be one of the first people to say it. There are very few Black people that I trust in terms of us having a community. So we have to be honest about that. I see the chat is quiet tonight. If we were Black male bashing, that'd be one thing. And I'm not saying this is all about women. Like I said, 75% men, 25% women. But we have to be honest about where we are and why things are not being built. And in order for things to be built, we need to level up our income and we need to put the resources in. And everybody who lives around us needs to be a homeowner and needs to have something to lose before we can build the market and have the law office and the dental office and things like that in a physical community. If somebody else has another solution, I definitely will listen to it. But I haven't seen one. Let's continue with the video.
Let's go inside. Guess what their people can do? Come in here and get Asian food.
Their people can also work in there as well. They've created jobs. Imagine that was soul food. Now we got to have some healthy soul food, ladies, but.
Community. These are the things that we used to have in our community. We used to have our own fish markets. We used to have our own meat markets. Again, why y'all glitching? Why y'all in the comments fighting? I just need to know. Answer the question.
And what's happening is a lot of Asians, let's be real, coming into our communities, setting up shop, and then going to their communities in order to spend the money. One of the things I'm going to talk about tonight is there's the greatest wealth transfer is about to happen. $30 trillion is about to be transferred from the baby boomers to Gen Z and millennials. Are we going to be in position to capture any of that? And keep going.
I'm going to get me some longanisa while I'm in here. If you know, you know. Whole entire grocery store with goods and resources that was sourced from their people working together as a cooperative.
Now, keep that word cooperative in mind, because that's the big thing. I'm going to talk about some Black families that got together to put together their cooperative. Also, their people own their supply chains. Could we source stuff from Africa if we wanted to, bring it here, put it into our grocery stores? Africa's a mess. I'll say it. I was in a meeting with a high African diplomat and some Black American men. This is high level people. The Black African who wasn't at the tippy top, he was, but he was a diplomat, was begging Black American men to come to Africa, invest, buy up stuff before the Chinese came in. This was early 2000s when I was in that meeting. Let's keep going.
Fruits.
Do we have urban farms? Do we own urban farms? Let's keep going.
Vegetables. Y'all see all that? This is what they've done to build community for their people. Community resources for their people.
All right. That was the video that sparked this whole thing. That was the video that sparked this whole thing. I'm like, I got to talk about this tonight. Our Irene is saying they buy out the whole strip mall. Absolutely. But guess what, Black women? We could do that too. Who says we can't do that? Who says we can't own that whole strip mall? You did see that it was a very clean market, though. That means we would have to have people that come in there that respect, not littering and all of that. But yeah, Mary saying Black women cannot wait on the men. We have to move forward. I'm working with a group of Black women to build affordable housing. We own the construction, another does contracts, and we are the lender. It's all women. Congratulations, Mary. One of my points was for tonight was you cannot afford to wait. Everybody like the video, please. Share. Like the video. Can't afford to wait. You'll be waiting forever. I'm here to say I don't have faith. Cinnamon Sugar saying that's amazing. To Mary, congratulations. Mary saying we've tried to partner with men, but they are too focused on chasing tail and appearing successful than really putting in the work. Well, look, we don't blackmail bash here, but let me, because I'm just feeling this tonight, so I might as well say everything I have to say in this video. With the amount of Passport Bros videos that I'm seeing, I think it's sad that the men, and I saw this one Passport Bro, I don't watch too many of them because I don't have the time, but I saw this one Passport Bro meeting with the men that looked to me like professional men. One of them had a fancy suit on, the others all looked like professional men saying we're going to the Dominican Republic. And I thought, well, that's very interesting. So you're basically taking money from here. Wealth, we're only at 1.5%. We only own, as a people, 1.5% of the wealth in this country. When we got out of slavery, we were at 0.5%. So in however many years since slavery ended, 200 years, we've only increased our wealth by 1%, and yet we have people going to foreign countries to spend their wealth there. It's a damn shame. Can't wait on these men. Also, ladies, let's be real. We spend, based on what I'm seeing, I'm not telling you to not buy Louis and Gucci and Chanel, but we need to divert some of our resources as well if we're going to have a real conversation about this. Mary's getting all sorts of accolades. Flowing Water is saying hello. Hello, Flowing Water. Stephanie is saying sharing video now. How can we get in touch with Mary to help? I'm sure Mary will tell you. SMH. Yeah, Irina. I'm just, this is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Put a 1 in the chat if you have hope. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't. You don't believe this is going to happen. 1 in the chat if you have hope that we can build a community together. 2 in the chat if you think, nah. Or 3 in the chat if you think only if Black women do it, but with caveats, you know. I see a 1 here. So you think we can do it? I'm seeing 1s. I'm seeing a 2. Mocha Mommy's here. I'm seeing a 3. Only if Black women do it. 3, 3. Well, let's talk about some Black women that are doing it. Let's talk about some Black women that are doing it. Does anybody remember this story here? 19 families buy nearly 97 acres of land in Georgia to create a city safe for Black people. Y'all remember this story? Let's see what CNN showed about them.
You hear that? That is the sound of freedom. A lush and rugged expanse about 130 miles south of Atlanta, just shy of 97 acres. It's undeveloped, unincorporated, and it has new owners.
It feels amazing. It feels really amazing. I cry every time I come here.
Black women, y'all. Black women. This is Renee. Let's keep going.
Renee Walters is one of them. She's president of the Freedom Georgia Initiative. It's a collective of 19 Black families who recently bought this land. This dream all started a few weeks ago during Renee's typical morning call with her friend Ashley Scott.
Black women, y'all. Now, in full transparency, I was able to interview Ashley Scott. So, wonderful woman. They ended up buying another 500 acres. I think they own 500 acres total now. These women are doing it. But guess what? They had the resources, they had the ability, they had the vision to be able to do this. Let's keep going.
She said, Ashley, did you see the article about Toomsboro for sale?
It turns out that the entire small town was never for sale, just a bundle of a few dozen homes and buildings. So Ashley, a real estate agent, looked for listings in the area and found one for this.
And it was just such a beautiful piece of land. It was affordable, and it just made sense that we could create something that would be amazing for our families.
Why were these two women interested in the prospect of buying a town in the first place?
It really was when we saw what happened with Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and the protests.
We both have Black husbands. We both have Black sons. And I was starting to get overwhelmed and have a sense of anxiety when my husband would leave the house to go to work.
So watching our people protesting in the streets, while it is important, and I want people to stay out in the streets bringing attention to the injustices of Black people, we needed to create a space and a place where we could be a village again, a tribe again.
Oh, the butterflies.
So Renee and
Okay, so look, that's what they did. Two women got together and said, hey, we're about to do this. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you believe they're going to have a grocery store on these 500 acres? Put a 5 for yes or a 6 for no. Do you believe they're going to have a grocery store on these 500 acres? 5 for yes, 6 for no. They can invest in their own grocery store being built there. They can invest in having their own offices on these 500 acres. Because they're pulling their resources together, they are going to be able to have these things. But here's the thing, you have to start with resources. So part of what I wanted to say tonight is, with the topic of the evening being, if they don't build, then what, is we're going to have to figure out how to get more resources and how to deploy them in ways like this. Yeah, Happy, Rich, and Pretty saying grow the food and sell it. Yeah, they have land to be able to do that. Nia's here. Hello, Nia. Mokamami saying, I wish them all the best moving forward. Yeah, now they just so happen to have husbands and sons, but when I talk to Ashley, the two women are running everything. They're pulling together everything for this collective. And I'm not saying anything against their husbands. But again, when I talked to Ashley, when I interviewed her, they are putting this together. The women are doing it. Stephanie is saying they should start with Home Depot small homes on the land in addition to boxables and seeking investors for services. Yeah. And see, here's the thing. I would invest in something like this. Why would I invest? Because I know those 19 families put their money in. And if I were to invest in something on that land, it's not going to get destroyed and messed up, most likely. But these are the types of things that we need to do if we want to have this. This is a very mean thing to say, but you can't bring everybody with you. You just can't. If people are going to have poverty habits, poverty mindsets, they're going to destroy everything that's around. I'm sorry, you just can't have it. And that's where the trust factor and lack of trust factor comes in. Mokamami is saying, I can see something starting like a farmer's market or an Azure standard drop point. I could. Nia saying they should definitely grow food. They probably will. I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to grow their own food. And these days, I'll show you ladies at another point, there's urban food as well, where you're able to grow food indoors. So you're able to like grow all sorts of food and set the climate indoors. So you don't even have to be outside and depend on the rain and everything. Is your interview with her on your channel? It's on another channel. So I'll try to remember once we get off to put it in the comments for y'all to see it. The tiny homes are a good idea. I'd invest too. Yeah. I want to invest with people who have put money in and have something to lose. Farmers market is going to make sense. I dream of an all-women type of community. So, Nia, let's talk about that. With the all-women type of community, suppose a woman has sons. Suppose she gets a boyfriend. What are you going to do? What are the requirements for all of the women? I'm not saying it's not possible. I'd be very interested in hearing what are some of your thoughts with regards to that. What kind of rules and regulations would you have? So Mocha Mommy saying stores like True Value have franchise opportunities for building supplies. Cool. Nia's saying she's going to remind me. Yeah, please do remind me. I'm also married with 2 kids, so there's that. Yeah. So, you may want to have an all women type of community, but who knows? Like if you have a husband, if somebody else has a husband, and let's say it's a producing husband, if the husband isn't producing, that's one thing, right? But we have to be honest with all of these things. We can't wait on the men, though. Just like these women, Ashley and Renee didn't wait on the men either. They put it together and then just asked for the probably they asked for the money from their husbands to. They may have had their own money too. So I want to show you a couple of other things here this evening. So let's go to this. Let's say you don't want to build. You want to walk into something that's already built. Well, here are the 12 richest Black communities in America. Let's see what they are. Because one of the things they say in here is that while shows and movies only show poverty, that's not it. And there are Black communities out there that are wealthy and flourishing. So one community is Friendly, Maryland. Friendly, Maryland. So let's see here. It's located outside of Washington, D.C., has just under 10,000 people in Prince George's County. The city is approximately 5 square miles. And the townhomes median are around $328K. This was as of last year, so it's probably gone up. Unemployment of 5.9%. They have 108 businesses and about 70% of their population is in the workforce. So they probably have 30% that are owners of government contract firms if they're in the DC area. Now, this is what I like here. 90.8% of the homes are owned. If we want to see places that are built for Black people, I believe that there needs to be home ownership. If the majority of the homes are rented, that's not a good thing. Number 2 is Windsor Hills, California. So this is 11,000 people living in the community. This is in the western region of the country. The demographics are predominantly Black with white and Asian professionals. 84% are Black. Home value is $812K. And 70% of the homes are owned. Next is Woodmore, Maryland. Woodmore is probably one of the most affluent on the list. It's in Prince George's County. Median home is $444,000. Again, these numbers are a little old. And 94% of the population homeowners, only 6% are renting. Mitchellville, Maryland. Now, I do know Mitchellville. Is also in Prince George's County. Notice the Washington, D.C. theme to all of this. Average home is $350,000. This is in the northern part of Prince George's County. So this is where a lot of the affluent Black people live. 91.5% of homes are owned. People have a whole different mentality when they own their homes. Baldwin Hills, California. So listed as the second richest Black community in the United States. Average family income is $157,000, which isn't a lot for California, but the homes are 1.1 million. Baldwin Hills has been the home to Ray Charles, Allison Felix, John Singleton, Tina Turner, and Ice Cube. So next is Kettering, Maryland. I'm going to move a little faster with this. And 90% of the residents own homes, and it's mostly Black. Fort Washington, Maryland, I do know that is outside of DC. Again, a lot of this stuff is in Prince George's County. Next is Uniondale, New York. I don't know, Stephanie, if you're familiar with Uniondale. I don't know that much about it. It seems like more of a blue-collar town based on what I was reading, but it's known for its affluent Black community. Next is Hillcrest, New York. And next is Ladera Heights, California. Lake Arbor, Maryland, another Prince George's County. Rosaryville, Maryland. And that's it. That's the conclusion. So either, ladies, we're going to build it, or we're going to have to, if you already make enough income, you'd have to move to it. If you don't make enough income, you're going to need to level up. Level up your income. I'm going to read some more comments here. Many traveling healthcare workers are doing that, living in RVs and work only 6 to 9 months of the year. It looks like you all are having a conversation. In the DMV, next time I'll move, I'll definitely look into these communities. Yeah. Yeah, definitely Maryland, sorry. And then Stephanie is saying, yes, it's true for New York, for the Uniondale, New York. So look, a couple other things I wanted to say is there's the largest wealth transfer that is happening in the country. I'm going to share my screen again, show you all. Why am I not seeing oldest? Here we go. Older Americans stockpiled a record $35 trillion. The time has come to give it away. They are transferring this money to their heirs and others, including homes, businesses, and charities, right? So these baby boomers are getting older. They're about to pass on. Over the next 20 to 30 years, it's going to be about $35 trillion of wealth transferred. Their wealth is equal to 157% of the U.S. gross domestic product. Why am I talking about this? Because, ladies, when we start talking about not waiting for anybody, one of the best ways that we're going to be able to pick up wealth, pick up land, pick up cash flowing businesses is to pay attention to the baby boomers. They're going to have boring businesses, but we could go in there and we could make money. Nepotism is real. One of the big reasons why the Asians have what they have and the Latinos have what they have is because they hire each other. Now, we have to be like really, really stringent on our kids and grandkids saying, no, you're going to come in here and you're going to work this job. This is a family business. But guess what? With that, they would never, ever have to worry about who's not giving them an opportunity. This is the greatest opportunity of our lifetime. The question is, who wants to get together and actually take advantage of it? And I don't have an offer for you. I certainly don't. The final thing I'm going to say, and then I'll read comments. This is a little, I'm going to call a name. This is a little shady. Tariq Nasheed. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Tariq Nasheed, but he has the Hidden Colors films and things like that. And when I saw the video, this video that launched this whole thought process for me, I thought about Tariq because he recently raised $1 million to open up a museum in California. Y'all can let me know if you've heard of this. And as I was listening to this, I thought, wow, $1 million could have funded a strip mall. $1 million could have funded several people launching different businesses in the strip mall. It's not that Black people don't have money. It's that we're not giving the money to the right people who could actually take it and put these things together and buy towns and buy opportunities for us and our children. We tend to give it to the flashiest person online instead of people who are actually building. And guess what? The builders are not online. So one of the things I wrote on my list is we're going to need these builders that are in these meetings to actually start coming online and start showing their work so that young people can see what is possible. What do I mean by that? I'm going to show you something else. I've forgotten to show you this. Where's this here? This was a meeting this weekend. Ericka Williams, she's on YouTube. If you are familiar with her, she says, Black men I know in real life are off the internet. We're in DC this past week at the 2022 annual legislative conference. Wealthy, over 100K Black men showing up and getting real change done. This is just one of the rooms, but thousands were there. Real change is happening, not on an 8-hour live stream or foreign trips, but through real work. This is what she's saying. Here's the thing with this. First of all, I absolutely agree. Like, I don't spend all of my time online either. But I do think that these men need to be online showing what they're doing. Part of the issue is we're seeing people online and we're seeing money raised online and we're not seeing the fruits of it offline, or the fruits of it is a museum and not something that is going to have generational usefulness. And Tariq Nasheed may see this. Some of you may be fans of his. You could send it to him. You know, I just have to suck it up. But imagine what could have been done with that $1 million. That could have had generational effect. And our community has the ability to raise tens of millions of dollars to buy a lot of different assets. If we pulled together and if we actually got focused on what we want to do, what we want to build, what the longevity is going to be. So I'm going to read y'all final comments and then we're going to head out. Invincible Summer, hello. I like the idea of tiny home living. True Mystique is saying, my majority Black neighborhood is one. I had to do research on the census tract data for our neighborhoods. I was shocked that average income was about 120. Yeah, look, when people in Prince George's County and those parts of Prince George's County, they have something to lose. A lot of those people work for the government. They have security clearances. They're not going to be out here wilding out and acting a fool. So yeah, there are Black communities that are out there like that. We need more of them. You can't wait. I'm not waiting. Mokomami saying Uniondale is full of union workers, electricians, plumbers, etc. Moved there in the 50s when Levittown wouldn't allow Blacks. Okay. Mary saying, ladies, the boomers are retiring and selling their businesses. No need to reinvent the wheel. Buy a pre-existing business and use your knowledge of social media to grow it 1,000%. I'm going to start doing some streams for you ladies on buying businesses. And I know a woman that actually teaches people how to buy businesses and run them without you having to be there to do it. So I want to tell Black women in NYC and in major cities, try to buy land whenever you can to help build money. If you can't afford to pay the taxes, you can always sell the land for more money. Yep. You could buy land and put a trailer on there and, some of you would be able to work a part-time job or start a part-time business, save your money, buy the land, and then once you buy it, all you have to do is pay the taxes on it and the basic upkeep. True Mystique is saying turnkey businesses are profitable. The kids don't want their businesses. Yeah, a lot of kids do not want their parents' businesses, but these businesses are profitable. Let's say you have a plumbing business, an HVAC business. A lot of immigrants are coming to work these businesses. Appliance repair, things like that. Yeah, we would like to hire our men to do it, but if they don't want the jobs, then we got to go where the employees are, and whoever wants it. Mary saying dry cleaners, gas stations, liquor stores, laundromats, etc. Yeah, Tulip. Hey, Tulip. Trumastika is saying anything that people still need in a recession. Look, I said this a couple of days ago on the live, is that there are things that people will not cut out during a recession. So for me, for example, the cleaning crew that we have, like they stay during the recession. There are other things I will let go of, but not the cleaning crew. I let go of the person doing my nails for now, just because that's not as important to me. Everybody has their thing. You're saying, unfortunately, to Tariq. Yeah. And it's not against Tariq. It's about what could have been done with that $1 million that would have had generational impact. That's what I'm looking at. $1 million is a whole lot of money. Tulip is saying we must be willing to leave certain mindsets behind completely for any of this to work. Absolutely. I have to trust you. I have to trust you that you are going to live by a code, and I'm going to live by a code, and all of us can live together. Make it happen. Mary is saying when you purchase pre-existing condition, you can use the financials to get a business loan. Absolutely. And the bank is more likely to approve the loan. Don't be afraid of getting a business loan. Yeah, the SBA loans have really good terms, everybody, especially when you're buying a business. Case in point, most if not all Black entertainers. Cinnamon Sugar saying love Ericka. Yeah, I love her too. I miss her. Ericka's dope. Agreed. Thank you. Lonnie Johnson and Black inventors should have social media and meetups. Okay. I don't know who those are, who that is. Wine is surprisingly profitable in these times. Look, I believe it. Any kind of alcohol. So that's the discussion for today. I felt like it was important for me to just kind of come in and level set some of the conversation, because most of it that I hear is just garbage. Men blaming women, women blaming men. The truth is that there are things that both of us need to do if we're going to pull this together. But this country is moving into the haves and the have-nots. This country is moving into, Ericka talks about it all the time, master communities. Master communities are basically, look, we're going to have this land here. We're going to have these houses. We're going to build this township. That's one of the things that the 19 families are doing. They're getting a charter for their own town. But if we do that, we have a say-so of who can move in here, who can't, who can live here, how many days your boyfriend can come to visit, who's that just showed up, the Black Karen needs to be out, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that that's the only way you can do it in ADOS America. Let's just say that. Hey, Computer and Coin, late to the stream. Yeah, just listen to the replay. Lonnie Johnson is a Black inventor. Okay, I have to check him out. Or her out. Lonnie. Guess Lonnie is a her. I have to check her out. Yeah. So that's it. Maybe sometime in the future, because I have to go right now, maybe sometime in the future, I'll actually open up the lines so that you all can call in. All right. You're ADOS? Yeah, I'm ADOS. Both sides, 100%. All right, ladies, take care. Bye.